Wow.
So she tells me, do you know who you're talking to? And I tell her, I don't know, not unless you tell me. And she tells me, you're talking to the director of education. The emotions.
Wow.
And she says, come to my office tomorrow. I give you a letter to go back. So I went to Tanzania, and so they say all things work together for good to they that love God, they that are according to his purpose. So when I was in Tanzania, someone fronted my name as one of the worship leaders in Reinhard Bonke's, the late Reinhard Bonke's meeting. So when I was leading praise there, I met a man again. Who
That's
now,
20 years old around?
Now that had gone up to around 23.
23.
Yes, I'm just in Tanzania. I keep
Yes.
coming in and out. And home they are
No
wondering
fire
where I
will
am.
burn you.
They are wondering where I am. And for me, I'm okay on the pulpit. As long as I'm in God, in as much as I looked disobedient to parents, but I was like, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. Let me hear that, the likes of Jacob and Esau, let the fire cool. Then we will talk. So now when I met this man says he loves me at age 23. And any young girl at that time, at age 23, you feel you're ready for it. And we begin a relationship. And after beginning a relationship, now the danger now comes in when he says he wants to visit my parents. Where do you start?
Where do you start? You ran away.
But I opened up and told him exactly what happened. So he decides with his people to come and visit and see my parents, blah, 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 blah. And what have you, long story cut short, he actually met them. And my parents were like, now why did you run away, blah, blah, blah. And they were in a place where by now they are now not blaming me, but they are now sympathizing with me. Like, what can they do to make my life better being a firstborn? Like, you need to be a role model and stuff like that. So they say, now let's concentrate on this wedding thing, finish this thing with you.
We'll talk later.
Because now we can't stop you and you are of age. So we go through the wedding process, finish the wedding process, and then moving, and we get our first baby. And this first baby,
Do you go back to Tanzania?
No,
you stay in
we
Kenya?
were in Kenya. He loved Kenya, and we were in Kenya for quite some time. Because again, he got very many job opportunities there. So he preferred. So we were in and out. And now that took me into having lost the college. The marriage is there, but I'm jobless. So and
you have children.
And I have children. And he's also not making much. Being a foreigner, is more of handouts and in and out when you don't have a work permit and stuff like that. You are just surviving on whatever comes. So now for me, I had now to start doing many jobs. I worked as a house girl. I worked on construction sites. I worked as a bus conductor.
Looking for money.
To just make the family have something. I hawked, hawkers? Yes. I hawked clothes. I did all manner of things just to get some money. But the reason why I was doing all that, my dream for becoming a teacher never died. I still believed I will teach. One day, I still believed the Lord will restore me to teaching. So I was looking for all these monies, put them together to be able to now go and train as a beautician and as a hair designer. Because I love women looking good. I love women just looking good. I don't understand why women should not look good.
Should be shabby.
Because Esther, if you just read the book of Esther, she took a whole year to prepare her skin to meet the king. So I wanted to do the hair design and beauty. Just for that purpose, for me to look good and to help women to also look good, because I was coming now into accepting what happened to me. The thing is now, what is the way forward? I can't continue wallowing in this. In Kenya, we say woye, crying, pity party. So when I was now working in the salon, when I finally got a job after training, and I'm working in the salon, a customer walks in and looks unkempt. But God has always taught me never to treat people with partiality. I just love people. And I treat people just the way they are. I never look at what they are to accord them love or respect or honor. So this woman walks in, she looks unkempt and very dusty feet. And I'm working in that upmarket salon. And she tells me, Emma, my feet are so swollen. What could be the problem with my feet? You as a beautician, what can you say? And I always tell people, you use what you have to get what you don't have. So my English literature comes back and some little biology I did in school. So I tell her, the problem with your feet is with the lymphatic system. And she tells me, what do you mean lymphatic system? I tell her, your lymph nodes are blocked. So what will you do to unblock them?
Emma.
What will you do to unblock them?
Beautician turned doctor.
What will you do to unblock them? I said there is a massage types. We do what we call effleurage. We also do what we call tapotement. So I'll apply all those techniques on your feet and you'll be okay. Emma, why are you talking about lymph nodes, lymphatic system, effleurage, deportment? You. Okay, what will you do to my hair? Now she posed the question to me. I told her, we don't just treat your hair shaft. We also treat your hair follicles. So the
Inside out.
she stops everything and refuses to do any of those services. And she tells me, you're speaking very good English. Are you sure you're supposed to be here? Why are you here? In fact, that's the question she asked. Why are you here? And I tell her something happened to me when I was training as a teacher. I did not graduate. It is now 7 years. And that's how I got myself here. Because my desire for hair and beauty was for me to go and be an instructor in a hair design school. I just wanted to enter class and say, teach. Good morning, class. And mark books and write, very good, excellent, exclamation mark. Wow. So she tells me, do you know who you're talking to? And I tell her, I don't know, not unless you tell me. And she tells me, you're talking to the director of education. The emotions.
Wow.
And she says, come to my office tomorrow. I give you a letter to go back. I'm like, I'm in a daze. Like, this can't be true. So I eventually go and look for her from the office where she told me she is on 7th floor in one of the buildings in Nairobi. We call them Jogo House. So for 3 weeks, I went there every day. But I never got access to get her because I didn't have her number. Those were the days we were using this booth thing.
You're just mentioning the name.
And we were using these booth things. We didn't even have handsets, Androids and smartphones. So one of the men who had also come there was a pool of people in the reception who wanted to see her. And one of the men was making noise and saying, why have they refused to admit my son at this particular school? They must fire that principal today. I touched the man's hand. I told him, sir, you don't have to make anybody sacked. I've been coming here every day for 3 weeks. And I'm not throwing myself out of my skin. You have just come now and you want to burst. Then he says, hey, what are you telling me? So what is it? Why are you here? Then I start explaining what happened. And one of the ladies carries me out and tells me, you want to see the director? I said, yes. This is her direct landline. I am the cousin. It taught me when you are in public, be careful what you say. You never know who is listening. So she gives me the number. I go down, put the coins in the booth. I make the phone call and she said, where are you? I've been waiting for you. I'm downstairs. Come up. So I go up and I find her standing at the door entrance.
Waiting for you.
Waiting for me. She writes the letter. You are authorized, commanded to admit the above student to complete her diploma education. Then she gives me the letter to take it to the registrar. I took the letter to the registrar. Of course, they were all shocked. So where do you get such women? Blah, blah, blah. I said, it's just God who made a way for me. And they post me for teaching practice immediately. After 7 years. They did not make me go through like the whole thing. And then I went back. They took me to the teaching practice school, a different teaching practice school. And by the grace of God, I managed an A- and graduated. And that is how I got back into teaching.